Hello, my dear. Today we'll be moving through some full body stretches to add flexibility, mobility to the entire body. I want to bring in this quote before we get started, which is, "I bend so I don't break." All right, let's get started in our first pose. I won't be using any props today, but if you would like to bring some in, you of course can. Our first pose being easy seated pose, also known as Sukhasana. So maybe having one foot in front of the other or stacking the legs, whatever your easy seated pose is for you. Getting yourself grounded through your sit bones, and we'll right away just start stretching the neck. So I want you to focus on lengthening up nice and tall, and then in taking an exhale, drop the right ear to your right shoulder. And then we're going to plant that left hand to your mat or to the floor by that left hip and really press down through that hand so you feel the stretch all the way from the left side of your neck, through the shoulder, the trap, all the way down your arm. And then slowly bringing the head back up. Inhale, find length, and then exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Planting that right hand down, really press it down. And gently bringing the head back up. And now from here, we're going to drop chin to chest. As you do that, make sure that the upper body doesn't round forward or the shoulders. Try to stay in integrity with your posture here. Stretching through the back of the neck. And now keeping the head down, just turn your head slightly to the right. So you feel a stretch through that right side of the neck, through the traps. And then bring your chin back to the chest and over to the left. Back to center. Let's do that one more each side. Relaxing your jaw as you do this. Back to center, over to the left. Back to center. Before you bring the head up, take a big cleansing breath to the back of your throat, back of your neck. And then bringing your head back up. Perfect. We're going to reach the hands back behind us, interlace the fingers, clasping the hands, thumbs right at the base of your skull. And we're going to take a little cat and cow variation here. So we're going to inhale, let the head fall back, reach the chest forward, opening up across the chest. And then as you exhale, you're going to round everything forward. But really, I want you to focus on mainly, is bringing the chin into the chest first and then round through your spine. Let the elbows fall in towards each other. And then inhale to open back up. Again, letting the head fall back into the hands. And exhale, rounding it forward, nice and easy. Let's take this 2 more times. And coming back up to center. Release the arms out to the side. Make fist, really, really tight fist. And then you're just going to rotate through your wrist. Ooh, my wrists are already popping. Make sure the shoulders aren't up by your ears. Relax the shoulders down. And the tighter the fist you make, the more you feel this all the way up through your forearm. And then reverse, going the other direction if you haven't already. Good. And now bring the hands out in front of you with your right hand. Flip the fingers down. Left palm's going to come on top. And gently press that hand back, stretching through the top of the wrist, the forearm. Again, make the shoulders aren't up by the ears, pressing them down. And then let's flip the hand fingers up, palm to palm, I guess. Gently pressing those fingers back toward you. Always making sure not to hyperextend through the elbow or the fingers. Good. Release. Left hand, fingers down. And fingers up, gently pressing back. And then releasing that, bringing the hands out in front of you, interlacing the fingers once again. And now you're going to flip the palms facing out. Taking another little variation of a cat and cow flow here. We're going to inhale, reach the arms all the way up. As you bring them up, again, focus on keeping those shoulders down. Reach the chest forward. And then as you exhale, really elongate the arms. Reach, reach, reach forward as you dome through the spine, and then bring chin to chest, belly button to spine as well. Good. Inhale, come back up. We'll take this 3 more times. Exhale, reach it forward. I lost count. Let's do one more just so I make sure I'm right. And then coming all the way up, release the arms down. Let's take some shoulder rolls, rolling the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. And then taking it reverse. Perfect. Coming into deer pose, you're going to have your right leg in front, left foot's going to come back behind that left glute. And then we're going to take a twist over to the left. So you're going to bring your right hand to that left knee. Left hand comes back behind you, pressing down through the right hip. Breathing all the way down into the belly. One more breath here. Untwist coming forward, and now we'll come into a side bend over to the right. So maybe you just bring that right palm to the mat, bend the elbow, or maybe you come all the way down to the forearm, and then we're going to reach that left arm up and over, getting a nice full side body stretch on that left side. Keep planting, rooting that left hip down. Find a place where the head can be relaxed, drawing the shoulders down the back. Taking one more breath here. Engaging the core, bringing the upper body back up. And now from here, extend that right leg forward. I always like to lift the hips and kind of replant the hips back down. We're going to take an inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, coming into a fold over that right leg. Maybe you grab onto the foot, to the ankle, or just plant the hands down. And instead of rounding through the spine, I really want you to focus on lengthening. Always think of lifting and reaching out of the low back, reaching the chest forward. And let's take a little flow here. So you're going to inhale, bring the upper body up a bit, and then exhale, release a little deeper into your fold. Taking that 3 more times. Inhaling it up. Exhale down. Now just pausing here. Taking some nice, slow, deep breaths. Got the street sweeper coming by. You can imagine our own personal street sweeper as we're in this pose, just making its way through our body and sweeping out anything that's been stuck or stagnant or icky. Just let that go. One more breath. And bringing the upper body back up. Shift over onto that right hip, and we're going to bring that left leg around, and now coming into a half butterfly pose with that left leg. So sole of the foot into the inner thigh. Take an inhale, lengthen once again. Exhale, walk yourself forward. And now from here, we're going to bring both hands over to the outside of that right leg and just keep walking yourself as far as you can until you feel a nice deep stretch into that left side low back. Soften through the shoulders, relax the facial muscles, the jaw. Breathing into that left side body. Let's take a big cleansing, a big street sweeper breath. Inhale through the nose, send that breath to the left side, low back. Open mouth, exhale. And bringing yourself back to center and then up. And now coming into a twist over to the left. Right hand to that left knee, left hand back behind you. And now really extend through that right leg. So flexing your foot, reaching that foot forward. And release your twist, coming into deer pose on the other side. So we have our left leg in front already. We're going to bring that right heel to the right glute. Good. Sitting up nice and tall, making your way into your twist over to the right. Left hand to that right thigh or knee, right hand back behind you. Coming out of your twist. And now coming to our side bend over to the left. So placing your hand or your forearm to your mat or to the floor, and then reaching that right arm up and over. Keep pressing down through that right hip. Notice that added stretch you get when you really focus on pressing that right hip down. Breathing here to the right side body. And using your next inhale to support bringing the upper body back up. And extending that left leg out, shifting the hips maybe. Good. And then inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, coming into a fold over that left leg. Taking 4 little rise and fall movement here to just support the body to release into this fold. So taking an inhale to lift, exhale to release. 3 more. And then releasing and pausing here in your fold. Let's take one more breath here. Engaging your core, bringing yourself back up. Shift to that left hip. We're going to bring that right foot to the inside of that left thigh. Good. Take an inhale to lengthen. Exhale, walking yourself forward, and then bringing both hands to the outside of that left leg. Walking the hands a little bit more to the left, finding the deepest stretch of that right side low back. And then make sure that the foot doesn't roll out or in. We want to try to keep the toes and knees facing up, keeping the leg aligned with the hip. Cleansing breath here, all the way low into that right side. Good. Walking yourself back center and then bringing the upper body up. Making our way into twist to the right side again. Left hand to the right knee, right hand back behind you. Flex that left foot, really reach through that leg while you sit up nice and tall. Last breath here. Coming out of your twist, bringing yourself forward, bring that left leg in front, making our way back into an easy seated pose and moving into some Sufi grinds. So having your hands resting on your knees, you're going to inhale, rock the upper body forward, and then you're going to start moving the body over to the right as you take your exhale. And as you make your way all the way back, doming the spine, belly button to spine, chin to chest, and then start bringing yourself over to the left on that inhale. So we're just moving through the hips, through the sacral chakra, the low back, sacrum. And really feel for pressing into your knees. And as you go to one side, you're pressing away from the opposite side. Oh, here comes our street sweeper again. And then going the opposite direction. Taking one more full circle here. And slowly bringing yourself back to center. Relax the shoulders. Take a big cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose. Send the breath all the way down the spine, the back, into the belly, into the hips, into the glutes. Open mouth, exhale. And making our way into tabletop. So in your tabletop, always making sure the shoulders are aligned over the wrist, hips over the knees, feet are hip width distance, toes are untucked, fingers are spread nice and wide, really grounding down through the hands as your foundation. Let's make our way into our cow. Inhale, drop the belly, tailbone up towards the sky, lengthen through the spine, through the crown of your head, and then exhale, pressing it back into cat. Dome the spine, chin to chest, really press away through the tops of the feet, the hands. Taking 3 more rounds on your own. back into your flat back. And now we'll take some barrel rolls. So you're going to send the ribs over to the right and then drop the belly down, coming into your cow, and then sending the ribs over to the left and then coming into your cat. So we're just moving that whole midsection through a nice little flow here. You can over exaggerate this movement or add any other movement to it if you'd like, maybe bringing in the head with a movement. And then reverse, going the other direction first. So ribs to the left and up, to the right and down. One more flow. Neutral spine. Let's tuck the toes under, stretching the soles of the feet. You're going to send those hips back towards the heels and really press those heels back. Nice deep stretch through the plantar, through the soles of the feet. You may even feel this in your Achilles. Bringing yourself back into your tabletop, lift the feet. And now let's rotate through the ankles, point and flex the feet, making any little movements here. Feel good. Perfect. Lowering your feet down, coming into downward facing dog. Bring the hands out in front of you a little further. Tuck the toes under, take an inhale, exhale, press it up and back. And just walking it out here, shifting from one heel up to the other. And kind of move your whole body with that little shift with the feet. And then pausing here in your downward facing dog. Let's give a little, or not a little, let's give a generous bend in the knees. And focusing on sending the belly to the thighs. And now letting those heels be extra heavy towards the mat. So you should feel your back muscles firing up here as you draw those shoulders down the back. Tailbone up towards the sky. Taking one more breath here. As you exhale, straighten the legs a little more. And now we're going to lift that right leg up nice and high. And then we're going to step that right leg all the way up, bringing that right foot to the outside of the right hand, coming into lizard pose. You can lower that left knee down, untuck the toes. Pausing here. Palms to the mat, or maybe you make fist if the wrists are a little sensitive. Another option is you can bring your right hand on top of that right thigh and press yourself up and open up that chest into a little baby back bend, baby twist here. And if you had your hand on top of your thigh, bring it back to your mat. And we're going to come into a thread the needle flow here. So we're going to inhale, reach that right arm up. And then you're going to exhale, bring that right arm behind that left arm. It doesn't have to be this big twist. And then we're just going to do that 3 more times. You're going to inhale, open it up. Exhale, thread it through. Keep pressing through that right big toe so the foot doesn't, or ankle doesn't roll out. Good. One more. Bringing that Right hand back to your mat, untuck the toe, or excuse me, tuck the toes under your left foot, lift that knee, step right leg back, coming back into your downward facing dog, walking it out here. Pausing for one full nourishing breath. Send that left leg up nice and high. And then stepping it all the way up to come to the outside of the left hand into your lizard pose. Lower the right knee down, untuck the toes. Again, maybe you stay on the palms of your hands or to your fist. Or bringing that left hand on top of that left thigh. Opening up the chest towards the sky. Really feel for this deep hip flexor psoas stretch in that right leg. Good. Both palms to the mat, coming into our thread the needle on this side. So we're going to reach that left arm up, inhale, and then exhale, threading it behind that right arm. Inhale, and exhale. 2 more. Planting that left hand down, making our way back into our downward facing dog, and walking it out. Take a full breath here. Widen the feet as wide as your mat. Bend your knees and you're going to walk your hands back to your feet, coming into a fold here. Let's hold on to opposite elbows if that feels good for you. Let your head be really heavy. Nice hamstring, low back stretch here. And a little inversion for the spine is always good. Maybe you take a few rocks side to side. Just pausing here, letting gravity support in elongating the spine. Releasing any tension through the neck. Maybe you let the arms hang down. We'll take about 3 more breaths here. Let's take a cleansing breath. Bending the knees generously, bringing your hands to the thighs. Press into the hot thighs to help roll yourself up. Good. And I'm going to turn to face you. You can stay at the back of your mat. Good. And then we're going to interlace the fingers and bring the hands all the way up. Flip the palms. Take a nice stretch over to the right side. So arms go to the right, and then you're going to send your hips to the left. Come back to center, over to the left. Hips go to the right. And back to center. Let's take that one more each side. And back up. Keep the arms up. Just widen your feet a little further than hip width distance. And we're going to take a full circle motion with the arms, I should say movement. Take an inhale, lengthen, and then as you exhale, you're going to start falling over to the right. Bend your knees as you start bringing the arms down and sweeping the arms all the way across over to the left. Engaging the core, grounding down through the legs as you bring the upper body back up. Let's take that 2 more times over to the right. Take it nice and slow. Coming back to center and then making your way 3 times to the left and around. Coming all the way back up. Take an inhale, lengthen up nice and tall. Exhale, release the arms down. And now take a walk up to the top of your mat. Good. From here, we'll do a little balancing with a little twist. So we're going to bring that right knee up, both hands to that right knee, hugging that right knee in up as high and into the body as you can. Grounding down through that left leg. And now holding that right knee with the left hand only, reach that right arm up and then open it up into a twist to the right, back behind you. Engaging your core, embracing any wibbles, any wobbles, all is well, all is good. One more breath here. And then we're going to drop that right arm down and bring both arms up as we step that right leg back, coming into our crescent pose. So on the ball of that right foot, front knees aligned over the ankle. Interlace the fingers, clasp the hands back behind you, just as we did earlier, and then open up the front body. Draw those elbows back. Pausing here. Stretching the front body. One more breath. Bringing the upper body back up, extend the arms up. Let's step that right foot in just a bit, and then we're going to sweep the arms back as we straighten that left leg, coming into pyramid pose. Maybe you reach the arms further back behind you, or you bring them to the floor, engaging the core, stretching into the hamstrings. One more breath. Start bending into that front knee, sweep the arms up, step that right foot up to meet the left. Take an inhale, and then exhale. We're going to dive it forward, coming into a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Rounding it up one vertebra at a time. As you make your way up to the top, roll the shoulders back and down. Perfect. Coming into our balancing pose on the other side. So hugging that left knee in. And then holding that left knee with the right hand. Extend that left arm up. Maybe reaching that left arm back behind you. Sweeping that left arm down and around. Both arms are going to come up as you release that left leg. Step it back into your crescent pose. On the ball of that left foot, bending into that front knee. Hips are facing forward. Drop the hands back, interlace the fingers, open up the chest once again. Breathing in and out through your nose. Making our way into our pyramid pose, release the arms, step that left leg or foot in a bit more. Reach the arms back behind you as you straighten that front leg, bending over that right leg. Last breath. Start sweeping the arms forward, bending into that right knee. As the arms come up, you step up. Take an inhale, lengthen, reach up tall. Exhale, diving it forward, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Rounding it up one vertebra at a time. Roll the shoulders back. We're going to flow it down one more time. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands. Now we're going to heel toe the feet out, making our way into Malasana Yogi Squat. So bringing your feet to the edges of your mat. And I always kind of like to just shift my hips side to side, letting my hips know that we are getting into this pose. Sinking those hips down, bringing the elbows to the inside of the thighs by the knees, bringing the palms of the hands together. Press the knees away. So in this pose, we have double action going on. So we are pressing the knees away, but then we are also pressing the legs into the elbows. If your heels are up off your mat, that's perfectly fine. Finding length through the spine, lifting up out of the low back. Draw the shoulders down your back. Taking one more nourishing breath here. And then we'll release ourselves down, maybe bring the hands in front or back behind you, coming down as gracefully as you can. And then we'll make our way right into butterfly pose. I'll just turn to face you. Soles of the feet together, holding onto the feet. Take a few rocks side to side. Coming to stillness. Take a pause, lengthen up nice and tall. Inhale. And then exhale, reaching the chest forward, holding onto your feet. Maybe you bring your elbows to the calves, pressing the legs down, folding here. Keep reaching out of the low back. Bringing the upper body back up. Bring the hands to the knees, bring the knees in, send the legs out. Give them a little wiggly release. And then making our way back into an easy seated pose. Bringing the hands to the knees, to the thighs, resting here. Take a cleansing, nourishing breath. Taking this moment just to feel into your body. Noticing what your practice offered you here today. And closing with gratitude for what our body is able to do for us every day. And it may look different from day to day, but each day our body is always working for us. May we continue to offer it practices like this that support flexibility and mobility, and not only physically in the body, but in the mind as well. So just as we had that street sweeper, or I had the street sweeper come into my space today, and just figuring a way to use it as a metaphor. And may we always be able to find ways to use things in a positive way rather than in a negative way. Bringing the palms of the hands together and bowing. Thank you so much for taking this time for you and for choosing to practice with me today. Namaste.